We're here at Call to Arms for the 4th year running. And finally, I want you guys to meet the man behind the scenes, Luke Binks himself. Luke's been my mentor and the armor I've learned under over the last few years. And during that entire time, Call to Arms has been one of the biggest missions that we've undertaken at RedHart Reproductions. So Luke, what can people expect to experience when they come to Call to Arms?
Well, what we're trying to achieve with Call to Arms is something that we've termed an immersive military simulation event. What we're trying to create is an event where you can experience a lot of the things that we can recreate from the 15th century in a military aspect. So we're trying to pull together a military mercenary company who are on campaign and are perhaps having to deal with skirmishes and things like that that happen throughout their movements and mission objectives. So what we've done here, we've pulled together people from all across Australia and somebody from New Zealand as well. And we've got cavalry and cannons and infantry and camp followers and the works. And you know, there's a bit of everything here for everyone.
Yeah, so basically all of the toys and experiences, anyone who's ever thought as a kid, what would it be like to be a knight? Come here, you get to experience it. So speaking of all of those things, Luke, Call to Arms has been something that's been a passion for you, a driving force for you over the last couple of years, maybe longer. Where did that journey start, and what are the goals that you personally want to see achieved through this event?
Well, there's a few things that really got me heading down this direction. Number one is just my passion for medieval military history. Number two was trying to aid the local community in Australia to give them an event that inspired them to improve the authenticity of some of their equipment. Also, thirdly, to actually offer an opportunity for people to get into an event that is of a high level historical accuracy wise, without it being a terribly expensive endeavor. I mean, it's not a cheap hobby.
Yeah.
However, in comparison to doing tournaments or something like that, where somebody's expected to have a complete full harness, maybe even a horse, and all the weapons and accoutrements that go along with it, being a low-level infantryman in a military camp allows you to actually have a lot less equipment, yet still maintain that level of historical accuracy. So it's a really good position to start with. Also, there's a ton of people that love medieval wargaming, tons of them. So we try and take things from all of the genres of medieval activity in terms of a hobby. The medieval wargaming, there's a little bit of LARP stuff in here, because to actually wargame correctly, you must have rank and you must have objectives. There's a bit of HEMA in the combat styles and things that we do as well. And there's a little bit of reenactment, of course.
Of course.
So hopefully it hits all of those interest points while also being immersive and historically accurate as possible.
That's fantastic. So for someone who's thinking about coming to Call to Arms, what is that kind of minimum entry-level aspect that you need to achieve to experience all of this?
Well, you need to hook up with the group. There's a lot of people within the group that are really keen to help people get involved. You know, the more people that are involved, the kind of more immersive and the more we can actually do. But fundamentally, you could be involved in a very critical capacity within the camp and the military with just a good 15th century outfit. You can very easily build with a sallet and a breastplate, some mail, and you know, little bits and pieces can be added over time, and you still get to be active.
That's super cool. So it's kind of an experience where you can grow with the group as it grows in the endeavor and in your own personal journey as well.
Absolutely. And the fantastic thing about this is we've had so many good people from all over the country come together. Everyone's helping each other to actually try and get involved and get the equipment they need, even if that's just by lending them something for a particular event to get them off the ground.
100%.
It's been really good.
And where would you like to see Call to Arms go, Luke? Like, what's the scope? Sell us the dream. Right. I've heard this dream many times, so you know, it's been cool for me to hear that now. Well, Luke, share it with us.
I'm not going to call it the end goal, but our idea is to try and create an event where we can have two military companies who are perhaps on scouting missions that are around a scenario of one of the medieval battles. We try and work through and around actual what happened in history. But we'd love to run an event that can have two camps with substantial amounts of troops, substantial amounts of cavalry and everything else that goes along with it, that form on a field that can't see each other and have certain objectives that they have to achieve throughout the course of the event. One of the unique things that will actually allow is for anybody in charge of certain regiments or groups of people have to make on-field and battlefield decisions and actually respond to it, as opposed to having a scenario where everyone knows what's going to happen and we just run through the script. We have just key objectives and we have a few things that must happen or maybe have to happen in a particular location, but the rest of it is actually on the fly, just like it was in a real battle.
How good is that? So you could say that at Call to Arms, the goal is for everything to be real.
As much as possible.
Yeah,
of
apart
course.
from dying, right?
Well, you know, there's always going to have to be compromises. I mean, there is compromises in modern military maneuvers, there's compromises in everything. We can't kill each other. We can't even run the risk of seriously hurting each other. But you know what? We push it as close as we can to that historical accuracy without making too many compromises.
So we had the troops out on the field a little while ago, all formed up into a display. How was that for you, seeing that, you know, you've worked at this, building this community in Australia for a lot, not just 4 years. Luke has been instrumental to the living history standards in Australia for well over 20 years and still going. So what was it like for you to kind of ride along and see all the armor and weapons and the troops in display?
This year was actually a big step forward in the evolution of the event. We've moved down to Armidale into the forest, which is a great venue for what we want to do. And we've got a bunch of people from Sydney and down south that haven't been before. So we got to take the next step and actually break off into a couple of teams and try a bit of maneuvering and a bit of actual engagements, which was a lot of fun. We had some objectives, we had some scenarios that we needed to play out, and from all reports, everybody's had an awesome day.
Fantastic.
It's been pretty full on with a -5 start, but
frosty as, up at the crack of dawn.
That's the beauty of it though.
Marched the troops up the hill straight into an ambush, which we subsequently lost, but that's another story.
That's right. Next time.
Anyway, are there any other final thoughts you want to share with the people that watch our videos at Iron Crown Workshop?
Yeah, if anyone wants to be involved, all they need to do is reach out. There's a great community around this event and lots of awesome people who are willing to help them. And we're, you know, keen for people to come and join in every capacity, whether that's helping out in the kitchen or doing duties around the camp or being a fully fledged men-at-arms and joining the battle.
Awesome.
You know, there's something for everyone, really.
Fantastic. And where can people actually follow what we do here at Call to Arms and find out and get in touch?
Our main communication point is on Call to Arms Australia Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm sure people could reach out to your channel and you could steer them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Anyone that they know of that may have been here, good place to start.
Yep.
So
fantastic. Thank you, Luke. That was awesome. And Iron Crown Workshop team, definitely follow up those links and check this out. We're trying to build something really cool here, and hopefully you're inspired as much as we are by the epic dedication and determination that Luke has led this event with. So Iron Crown Workshop signing off. Thank you, Luke. Hoorah.